In this video, we will discuss the LM068 Bluetooth serial adapter. This product is the follow-on to the LM048 Bluetooth serial adapter. The differences being the LM068 is a dual-mode 4.1 class device. The LM068 can support one SPP classic connection and up to 5 BLE peripheral connections simultaneously. The default firmware shipped with this device will be SPP with Gap Central, which implements both SPP Classic and BLE functionality. So the main purpose of this video will be discuss the basic commands and configurations of this device. The device can be connected to the computer via the 9-pin DE9 serial connection using any serial to USB devices you may have on hand. Additionally, the device can either be powered via the USB port or via pin 9 on the DE9 device, supporting 12 to 5 volts of power. Once connected, the device will feature blinking lights. I will perform a reset using the new AT command set, AT star reset equal 2. And using that, you can see that the device will feature all 3 of the lights blinking simultaneously 3 to 4 times in a row to indicate the device was successfully reset using either the AT star reset command or a power cycle of the device. Afterwards, the red LED will blink periodically alone to indicate that the device is powered and in standby mode. When the device is connected to an SPP device, the middle yellow light will blink along with the red light. And when the device is in SPP data transfer mode, meaning transferring device transparently from one LM068 module to another, the blue light to the far left will blink when the device is capable of accepting the escape sequence, which will put it back into the online command mode. The connection will still be maintained. However, that will be discussed in further videos and the documentation. The default setup to this device can be seen using the command AT star settings equals question mark. From here, you can see the standard default settings of this device. In addition, it's worth noting that the AT star reset equal 2 command will reset the device to factory settings, as well as deleting any pairing or user configurations. This will also result in the device becoming power cycled. So here you can see the configuration's name and the name of the device, address, which is the Bluetooth MAC address of the device, as well as commands such as pair and discoverable. When the device is pair on, the device is capable of being paired with. When the device is DCOV or discoverable on, the device is capable of being discovered. To prevent the device being paired or discoverable, these commands can be set to off. The next few commands, baud, stop, parity, and flow, have to do with the serial connection of the device. Using this terminal application, for us we use the Hercules terminal application. Although any terminal application will work, you can see that this device is connected to COM4. Although for other devices on different computers, you may have to use a separate COM port. You'll have to just search your own device manager setting to find your correct COM port. Default settings will be the baud rate 19200, data size 8-bit, parity none, stop bit 1, and flow control off. These settings can be changed using the relative settings AT commands. Modem functionality includes loopback and remote and online. Also, it is worth noting that for the AT commands, the end of line characters will be CRLF. If CRLF is not received, the device will not process the commands. Additional configuration settings will be SPP role, default setting is slave. The default ACON setting is off. ACON is auto connection. If a master device is on and there is a bonded address entered into configuration, the master device will only connect with the slave that matches the Bluetooth address. If ACON is on and the bond device has no address, then the master will connect to the first device that it can discover. So these three settings control whether or not a master device will connect to the first thing it sees, well, the first device it discovers, or only a specific device which it can discover, or you will have to manually connect from one device to the other. Again, consult the documentation to determine what best suits your application. For this device, RICD has not been implemented. D pin is the dynamic pin and is by default turned off. The dynamic pin is for devices that are Bluetooth 2.1 and above. It is the man-in-the-middle protection, and it allows for dynamic or randomized pins to be set for both device and parent. By default, the fixed pin will be 1, 2, 3, 4 for security. Gap enable configuration setting enables the device to interact with Bluetooth low energy devices. When gap enable is off, the device will not register BLE commands. The version is the version of the firmware currently on the device, and in this device it is LM068 SPP plus Gap Central 0108. Any of these commands can be investigated and set manually using AT commands. In this serial terminal, we can enter the commands as we need them and use the send command to ensure that the command sends properly, because it is worth noting that when commands are sent into the terminal app straight itself, you are not allowed to do backspace. This will result in error. So we use this terminal application because it allows us to enter the command without errors. So you can see this role is slave for that particular configuration, although we can set it to master using AT commands. And if we check AT settings again, we can see the new settings are set. Again, for the name, another setting that we can change. We can change to and we can see the change set in the settings. In order to erase all of these changes and reset the device, we can use the reset command. And that was an accident. This should be 2. And again, the settings should reflect the device going back to its default configuration. These are some of the commands you can use to configure the device, and you can check the device documentation for the LM068, its user and AT command manual, to discover the rest of the functionality. Thank you.